Been a while since we took a look at the Am I a Jerk or Am I the Jerk subreddit. It has a different name, but we're not allowed to say that on the radio. Ooh, naughty language. So anyway, we'll just call it Am I the Jerk? Am I the Jerk for telling my grandma not to sell an expensive setup for so cheap, even if it's family? All right, let's dive in. Okay, so I, 19, male, was speaking to my grandma recently when she mentioned she was selling her computer and the entire setup to my cousin. Out of curiosity, I asked how much she was selling it for, and she said $150. Now, I was confused because it was an expensive setup. The monitor alone was $600, not counting the wireless keyboard and mouse and high-quality microphone. I asked why she was selling it so cheap, as it was still in beautiful condition and worked great. There's no reason to sell for only $150, and she should look into how expensive the setup actually was and how much it's worth. Now, note that the person said she was going to sell it to her cousin. So this is a grandma selling a setup to one of her grandchildren. So anyhow, back to the post here. Well, she took my advice and is now selling it for $450. My cousin and other family members are angry with me because she should apparently sell it for so cheap because he's family. Personally, I don't think I did anything wrong, and I feel I would be an awful grandson if I let my grandma get scammed like that, but apparently I'm driven by greed. Okay, dude. If your grandma was going to sell it on the Facebook market, sure, okay? But she's selling it to one of her grandchildren, all right? So, even though, sure, maybe the setup is worth more than that, I mean, what if she had just gifted it to the cousin? You know, would this guy have been out of shape? I mean, you've had relatives give you stuff here and there, right? Yeah, helping out somebody young who needs a computer set up, maybe for college or whatever. Even if it's just for fun, even if it's just for streaming. Like, how could you say your grandma's getting scammed by giving one of her grandchildren a pretty sweet deal on something that she no longer needs? I think, in my opinion, this person is a jerk. If one of my cousins pulled that kind of stunt, I'd be like, listen, hey. I mean, I don't have any grandparents left, so I can't really test how I would react here. But, yeah, just settle down and let people get a deal every once in a while. Yeah? Unless, of course, yeah, it's someone you don't like. Maybe he doesn't like his cousin. Maybe that's what it comes down to. My cousin's a jerk, so I don't want to see him get a sweet deal. I mean, why not just, at that point, tell the grandma, oh, yeah, sorry, I got a little bit riled up. I wasn't thinking clearly. Yeah, it's probably okay to give your grandchild a deal on something. You know, like if I'm going to sell something to a friend, it's going to be a much better deal than if I just sold it to a rando on Craigslist. You know? I think there's more to this story that we're not being told here. As is generally the case when you take a look at these kind of posts online. Well, anyhow, I hope your morning's going good so far. I'm getting rolling here. Just getting everything set back up. We should have bought more lights. I know you're like, dude, you just got a bunch of lights. I know, but we have only so many people in the building, and sometimes they need to use them. So the mics or the lights I had set up and dialed in, now I got to do it all over again. This is what prevents me from getting online content done. The whole setup thing. But I might try to do some kind of video today. We'll see. Well, I didn't really think that kids suffered from boredom anymore. You know, we're living in this awesome day and age where you got a super entertaining computer in your pocket. I mean, sometimes it can be a nightmare, but if you're young, you're probably not, getting pummeled with political garbage on your social media feeds 24/7. No, you're probably looking at stupid videos on TikTok and, I don't know, playing whatever games kids play on the phone. But perhaps not this one. This kid, somebody needs to hook him up with a PlayStation. Because I don't know any 13-year-olds that are so bored they're going to dress up as a doctor, show up at the hospital, and just try to go to work. But this did happen recently in the UK. 13-year-old kid arrested at a hospital following reports of a person impersonating a doctor. Yeah, he showed up wearing scrubs, had a fake ID, and I guess just wanted to get down to business. Well, anyway, officers showed up, arrested him, and now they're not really doing anything to him. They dealt with him by means of words of advice. That's what it says. And no further action will be taken. Yeah. Somebody set up a GoFundMe. Let's get this kid a PlayStation. There's got to be some, or maybe a computer. There's got to be some doctor games you could play on the PC. You know, I want to be a surgeon. Okay, here we go. This is the way that a 13-year-old should, attempt in any way to be a surgeon. Strictly on a PC, doing a little bit of that gaming action. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't, severely punish him. It's not like he was actually treating people. I mean, who's going to walk in, see clearly a child, and be like, okay, doc, sure, whatever, I'll take your advice. Okay, based on some of the dumb things I've seen on social media in my day, there are probably some people who wouldn't question a 13-year-old if they saw them wearing scrubs in a hospital. It's like, well, okay. Just looks young, okay? No certificates on the wall, anything like that. Seemed a bit suspicious coming out from, behind the counter as they're waiting, for the real doctor to show up. Oh, you were in here the whole time. Yeah, sorry, I was putting supplies away. Sorry, I was putting supplies away. I mean, it's a little kid, 13. Well, I thought I was bored as a teen, but apparently not. All right. Did you recently purchase a Ferrari? Highly doubt it. I mean, we could have some of you listeners with that kind of dough. I tell you one guy who hasn't recently purchased a Ferrari. Yeah, this guy. I wish I could afford to buy myself just some, simple, beat-up, used vehicle that gets good gas mileage. Yeah, I don't care how cruddy it is. Just to save a little bit of dough on the roads with these increasing gas prices. Well, anyway, if you have recently bought a Ferrari, their CEO is very upset with people. Because I guess some of these drivers are customizing their Ferraris and making them look just wild and crazy. And they feel like, this is diminishing the value of the brand. Oh, we will not make strange cars. How dare you? So they want to blacklist people, I guess, from being able to buy Ferraris in the future if they have modified them and made them look a little bit, outlandish. If you have that kind of money, you might as well go all out. Make your car look completely ridiculous. Okay, if I won the lotto and was going to buy a Ferrari, I mean, I can't imagine having the kind of money that I'm looking at purchasing this type of vehicle. But anyhow, if I had the kind of dough to do so, I'm going to make that vehicle look really stupid. Because why not? Why not? This is why I will never buy a house in an area where you've got an HOA. All right? I want to be able to get as stupid as I want with the things that I pay for. If I buy a house, if I want to paint it neon pink, it's my house. I can do what I want. Now, that's not, really my style. So don't worry, neighbors. Yeah, I know some of my neighbors listen. I don't want to make them nervous here. But yeah, I mean, if you pay that kind of money for a vehicle, shouldn't you be able to give it whatever kind of paint job you want? No. So just a heads up, I don't know if you're looking at a luxury sports car. If you want to be able to buy a different one down the line, you better not show off your ridiculous paint job on Instagram. Ferrari is watching. other automobile manufacturers could be right behind. They might think this is a good idea. Keep things boring. Paint them all brown. All right. We'll be back with new music from Shinedown in about, 20 seconds. Just want to thank anybody who sends me insane cat videos. I am a fan of those. Cats going insane. Last night, after I got done watching a little bit of Mr. Robot with my lady, I was tinkering with lighting at home. I know I talk about tinkering with lighting a lot. I don't know what my deal is, but I'm just into it, all right? I just keep adding more and more and more lights at my house. My daughter bought me this awesome Govee TV lighting kit for Christmas. So you've got a light strip that attaches to the back of the TV. It's got a camera you put on top of your TV, and then it kind of shoots, colored light out, all around the TV that, reflects what's happening on the screen. And it's really cool. It's really cool. So I had gotten, during the Christmas holiday, some lights for my Christmas tree, Govee lights as well. And you can sync them up to the TV lights and make them all work together. So, the Christmas present I bought for myself was just a couple of these Govee pole lights. They're floor lamps. They're just like a tall pole. And, put those on the sides of the TV, on the sides of my bookshelves, sync those all up to the lights, right? Well, last night I decided, all right, I need to really figure out how this app works. And I was just playing around trying to get everything dialed in, get it set up so it would react to music and things like that. And I cranked up an Eminem song, 3 a.m., in case you were wondering which one. Because, I needed something with a nice steady beat to dial in the sensitivity and such on the lights. And I mean, it's completely ridiculous. The setup is completely absurd. I can turn my living room into a rave now. But Lucy, my little kitten, I don't know if she is terrified of Eminem or she loves Eminem. One or the other. When I turned that song on, she started going nuts. She was just tearing all over the house, high speed. I thought she really got into it when I, got the cat fishing pole out. But no, throw on some Eminem, she was pumped. Either pumped or she was just, horrified. Kind of like K-Bear listeners when it comes to us playing Eminem. You're either, all in or completely opposed to that kind of activity. So just want to let everyone out there know, my little kitten Lucy, she's a big kitten now. She's right on board with all of you in one way or another. I'm not sure which, but it was really funny to watch. And I don't know. It's just funny being a 42-year-old man. And I'm sitting in my living room dialing in the same type of setup that I would have just loved when I was about, 12. I would have been so impressed with this when I was 12, and 30 years later, still just as impressed and satisfied with how stupid I can make my living room. It's over the top. It's unnecessary. Love it. So, once I clean up my living room, because it's messy, I'll post some videos online. House is getting out of control. Yeah. If you ladies ever wanted to know what it would look like for a guy to run completely unchecked in decorating a home, maybe I got to do an episode of Viktor Wilt Cribs, because at this point, almost the entire house is getting really ridiculous. I love it though. I feel cozy and comfy there. That's why I always try to encourage you to, decorate however you please, okay? No matter what age you are, your house doesn't have to look like, all those homes on Zillow, nice and, tame. And no, you can get as ridiculous as you want. You be you, get crazy with it, because if it makes you feel good, who cares if people are like, what are you, 10? Why does your home look like this? Because I like to have fun. That's why. Oh, yeah, it's awesome. Like, you play some video games with all of those lights on, reflecting the light that's on the TV. It's crazy. I played a little bit of Super Meat Boy to test it out. And, the immersion, that's, if we start getting into a nerdy TV stuff, the immersion, the levels are unprecedented. All right, I'll be back in a second. It's been a couple weeks since Lieutenant Crane was in the studio. So we've been doing a lot of work around here, rearranging, and of course, getting the lighting set up. A few of these lights we've got in here have some very fun features where you can make it flash red and blue at high speed, just like, when you get pulled over. So we are going to pummel Lieutenant Crane with lights when he gets in here today. He should be used to the blue and red flashers, but I'm going to do everything I can to get set up so we can stream Traffic School live on social media, because I want you to be able to see me, again, pummeling Lieutenant Crane with blue and red light. I mean, it's lit up like the circus in here. It's crazy. Loving it. Having a great time. So that's what I've been up to instead of, digging up content for the show, trying to be a radio host. Sorry. What, you want me to talk about the Florida man who stole a purse? There is, more to the story. It had a kitten in the bag. How dare you? There's nothing worse than stealing somebody's pets. People steal pets. Can you believe that? I'm sure you can. We see these stories about this, but how terrible of a human being do you have to be to steal someone's pet? There are worse things you can do. There are, but that's pretty high on the list of like dirt baggy things. And it was a little 1-month-old kitten. Oh, did the lady get her kitten back? Well, there's a cop holding the kitten, so I'm guessing so. The cat was safely reunited with its owner, and she got her purse back too. So that's pretty good. I would assume he wasn't trying to steal the kitten, but you never know. Might have saw the little head poking out and was like, I don't care about any money. I want that cute little kitty. Have you ever seen a kitten? Of course you have. Who can resist picking up a kitten, right? Look at it. It's so precious. Okay. There's my cat talk for the day. I already did some cat talk, didn't I? Talked about Lucy losing her mind to Eminem. You guys want to listen to some Eminem? I kind of want to listen to some Eminem. It's Friday. We're having fun. All right. What do we got in the system here? I want to play something we don't play too often. We played Godzilla a while back. Let's do How Dare You, System. You won't let me play that song? We've played it before. There we go. Without Me. Jay Davis rolling in here to, man, why are you off air?
Rightfully so. I did see you pause it, so it's partially my fault. I saw you pause the stream and then didn't think anything of it because I thought we were talking shortly after that.
Well, I was working on trying to get the Facebook Live video ready to go.
Right, and I was too distracted by watching you tinker with these lights and stuff.
Yeah, just working on that online content, Jaden. Sometimes when you're doing that, you fail. But it, unfortunately, is not the first time I've done that this week, so... too much going on, man. I don't do too well with multitasking sometimes. Plus, I slept just terribly last night, Peaches. Just terribly.
I had to thank you for letting me know about what we can do with the CPAP machines because I turned the Smart Start off.
That's what it was called, the setting. Smart Start.
I found out that during the middle of the night, my CPAP would randomly just turn off. And so I'd wake up at like 1 a.m, like my heart's going a little bit faster, and I'd be like a little freaked out, like, why is it going this fast? And then
yeah, because if you get a seal leak, it thinks you've taken the mask off.
Right.
So it stops blowing air.
And my big head and the beard does not help at all because the masks are not made for guys like me.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily I was laying there one morning around like 6 a.m. and sure enough, it just randomly turned off. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Maybe that's happening during the middle of the night. And luckily you told me about that and how to jailbreak the CPAP.
They don't want you to know how to get into the settings.
I hacked my CPAP, you know. I now blow it air.
Yeah, I've made my CPAP doctor mad a few times by tinkering with things, but I'm like, hey, I don't want to have to drag my machine over here to make a minor adjustment.
Well, my place is literally right down the street.
Yeah, to me, it's, you got to drag the machine in, wait. Then they got to take you back, and then they got to dial it in, and then you bring it home. And
then you feel so bad about yourself because you see all the old people in there with you in the waiting room.
Why do you feel bad about yourself,
because it's like my health matches these people. Like that's not, I'm trying to be a lot healthier than this.
See, the thing is that a lot of young people probably don't even look into whether or not they may be dealing with something like sleep apnea. We've talked about that a ton on air before.
Oh, yeah. There's people that tell me, I snore all the time. I tell them to get the sleep study. No, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. Like, go get the sleep study done. There's people who will, bully their significant other because they're snoring. You're like, I hate it. It just snores. It's so annoying. They could be just dying in their sleep. If you shame someone for snoring, shame on you! Because they might have a major health problem. Get them in for a sleep study. Then you get the CPAP, and they won't snore anymore. They'll sleep nice and quietly.
Don't end up like me and, get 140 heart rate going in the middle of the night because you failed to acknowledge your sleep apnea.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think only really overweight people or something deal with sleep apnea.
I mean, we are overweight. No, I'm just kidding.
That's true, but I had sleep apnea when I was rail thin. I had my tonsils out when I was young.
I mean, Joe Rogan has it. Look at him.
Joe Rogan has sleep apnea. That's right.
Jack has it. Mm-hmm. He was a prime athlete.
Exactly. It's something that just about anybody could have. So might as well, if you're having any kind of sleep issues, get in and get it checked out because there could be some help for you.
Now, I got to admit, I don't really put water in mine. I just kind of use it.
Well, I like putting water in mine, but if you don't have the humidifier on, it doesn't really matter anyway.
I have the humidifier on, but sometimes
with no water in it.
Yeah.
So you're just blowing hot, dry air down your throat. Peaches, that's not good, dude. Put the water in the machine or turn the humidifier off.
It gets stuck in the hose and then it makes that sound. And
then you're putting too much water in.
I follow the rules. I look at the lines.
Yeah, I fill it up to isn't there 3 lines?
Yeah.
I fill it up to the second line.
See, I fill it up to just below the max, and I feel like that's too much.
Yeah, I've had that same problem too. It'll start shooting the water up into the hose, so I only go to line 2.
The worst is when you take it off and then it squirts water at you.
You must have an insane amount of water in there if it's actually squirting through the mask. Oh, the thing I was going to do in between the songs when I took us off air, I started playing Far Cry 5, a game recommended by both Taryn and you. Because you guys thought I would like it.
It's a great game.
I am enjoying it, for sure.
Are you seeing the similarities between here and that?
Well, yeah. It takes place in Montana, and, you're dealing with some, extremists. But I figured out why you actually wanted me to play that game. Because I just got done doing the first little island.
Uh-huh.
And right when you get off that island, there's a few things that open up that you can go, help people, I guess, businesses and things. And I believe that one of them was called Peach's Veterinary Clinic.
See, I don't even remember that. I just remember Cheeseburger the bear. That was my favorite guy, Cheeseburger. You can get a bear as a companion and be like, attack them. And a bear comes out of nowhere.
That's awesome.
And you can also get a panther, too. I think the panther is Peaches, isn't it?
I don't know.
No, I think panther's like a bobcat, but the best one you can get is a panther. Because it can sneak.
Okay.
The bear is like the tank. You're going to tell that to go to an outpost. Obviously, they're going to be like, a bear! And start shooting at it.
Yeah, but a panther will sneak in and rip him to pieces.
But his name's Cheeseburger.
That's a great name for a bear.
He's a whole tourist attraction. You go see Cheeseburger the bear.
Wow. Very nice. Yeah, all of a sudden I see the word Peaches on the screen. I'm like, that's the only reason he wanted me to play this game, just to see Peaches.
Far Cry 3 is the best Far Cry out there.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'll have to give that one a whirl. It took me a little bit to get rolling with it because of, coming out of The Last of Us, adjusting to a similar style game but different control scheme. It just took me a bit to get into it. But now I'm digging it.
Have you played Far Cry 6 at all?
I haven't played any Far Cry games.
You gotta do 5, 3, then 6.
Because 6 has Gus Fring in it, doesn't it?
He's a great sort of, I don't know if he's a Spanish dictator, Cuban dictator, but he does a good job of always being the villain.
Giancarlo
Esposito.
Yeah, he's a great villain for sure. So, all right, I will fire that one up. And coming up here in about 15 minutes, Traffic School powered by the Advocates. Guess I better finish getting everything all dialed in here.
And I'll get out of here so I don't get a seizure from all these lights.
It's going to get stupid. Yeah, I'll fix the cameras. I'll go live on Facebook, and then we'll turn on the police lights in the studio. We'll be back in a minute. Yo, what's happening? Welcome to the Viktor Wilt Show. I can't believe the show is already pretty much over at this point. It's kind of wild. Went by really fast. Oh, well. Yeah. I don't mind that on a Friday. Now all I got to do is get some things done around here. The actual behind-the-scenes productive garbage that I've got to do in order to keep things up and running around here. All right. Well, anyhow, one of the things I need to do is get that Jenkshow recorded. If you're a fan of metal, we've got a whole bunch of new music on Jenkshow this weekend. So it's a nice, fresh playlist, and it should be a really good one. It airs Saturday nights, 10 p.m. till 2 a.m., hosted by me, hooking you up with 4 hours of metal, the ultimate way to spend your weekend. So if you've never checked out the show, why not make this weekend the first time you give it a shot? Tomorrow night, 10 p.m., tune in and get crushingly heavy with Jenkshow right here on K-Bear. Thank you again for tuning in to the Viktor Wilt Show. This program is a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.